Hello, and welcome back to Ant's Gaming Street. I hope you guys have been well and fantastic. This is your host, Anthony, back with another Genshin Impact video. Thank you so much for, all the subscribers so far. Thanks for liking the video. It does show support to me, and I do appreciate that a lot here. We are so close to 1,600 subscribers. Let's try and get that 1,600 subscribers as soon as possible. Anyway, today's video, we are going to be talking about artifacts here. Artifacts is something that is really important in terms of mid to late game here. It's not too much something that you should worry about in the early games. In terms of how you find them, you can get easy artifacts between 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 stars, but in opening chests, finishing quests, and as well as doing domains and early bosses will drop you artifacts as well. So my advice is, as an early gamer who's progressing or starting out in Genshin Impact here, I'll give you a quick rundown on what each subsets are relating to. So when you start out into the game, you do have 5 slots to fulfill your artifacts, okay? So the first slot is the flower. You get a whole bunch of flowers and whatnot. The primary stats will always stay fixed. So with the flower, you always get HP. No matter which one you get, which set you get, it will always be HP. But the substats will always change. See, for example, this particular flower gives me a crit damage, plus 12 attack, energy recharge at 4.1%. And if I pick the same thing again, Elemental Mastery, HP 3%, attack at plus 11. So these are always going to be changing throughout the game, depending on your RNG drop, what drops out, your enhancement, so what comes out and all. But anyway, moving on to the next one. The second set is the flower. So the flower is, the feather, sorry, is another artifact that is always fixed and is always going to be fixed with attack based damage. So attack 185, attack, but the substats will always remain the same. In terms of the last 3 of the hourglass, the cup, and the helmet, these are not fixed. They are variants, so you can have a percentage attack, you can have defense, you can have HP, you can have cryo damage, you can have pyro damage. Okay, so those are the 3 variants that you can get for the last 3 substats. As you progress in the early games, as you're journeying through, my advice is to always look for items that give you percentage attack. For instance, the hourglass, the cup, and the helmet. Look for items early on that gives you attack percentage of 5% or 21.7%, but this is upgraded at plus 12, obviously, right? So, here's a 3-star item that gives me an attack of 5.2% here. It gives me defense plus 8, HP plus 3.5%. Don't worry about the subset too much early on. My advice is just to focus on the primary stats, and then if you have a a set, equip it. For example, Revolution of Sojourner gives you plus 18% if you have 2 sets. Why not increase it? Why not equip another one that gives you 18% attack and plus that with 5.2, you're sitting at 23%, which is great. The reason why I tell you to focus on attack percentage early on in the game is, you'll be able to clear monsters a lot faster. You can clear dungeons or domains a lot faster. You can kill the bosses a lot faster. And, progress to the game at a lot quicker rates. But my advice is also, don't progress to the game, don't race your way all the way to the level AR40, because there isn't a lot of content at the moment in terms of saying that. So, enjoy the game, explore the world, collect all the portals and chests and Geoculus if you haven't already done that. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. So, as you progress through the game, a lot of people say, wait till level adventure rank till you hit 35, and then you can essentially farm your domains. So there are a whole bunch of domains that you can open up. One thing for sure is, if you open your beginner or guidebook here, click domain, you can easily find all the types of artifacts you can farm here. So you got Hidden Palace of Zoe, you have Clear Pool and Mountain Cavern, you have Domain of Guyan. So each particular domain will drop a specific set that you can farm at level 35, but please keep in mind that once you hit 35, even though you're guaranteed a 4-star artifact, you won't necessarily get the artifact that you want. For instance, I'll give you a quick example. So for me, as I was trying to farm a lot of the Crimson Witch, right, for this artifact here, a lot of the time I'm at 30. I'm like, why is the Crimson Witch of the Flames dropping? And I keep getting Defender's Will, or I keep getting Martial Artist. I don't know what the RNG is, or maybe I have really bad RNG in the game. I don't really know here. But I found that in able to get the Crimson Witch of the Flames at level 30, it's got to be at least 1 in 10 times that you run it, or even more than that. I've only ever gotten this once, like maybe after 20 runs. So my advice is to stay away or steer clear of artifact farming, maybe until 40 or 45. I know that's a long way around, but that's kind of the end game stuff. But if you're in desperate need of artifacts at 35, you can do that. But please keep in mind that you prefer to use a resonance on character, which will boost your damage, your HP, your weapon will boost your damage, your talent skill will boost your damage. So please keep that in mind as well before you do any artifact farming. As you progress to AR35 and you've reached it, you're less, you can farm it, you're happy, you can farm it. But the drop rate for Crimson Witch of the Flames could be like 1 in 5 chance for you to get a Crimson Weight. So, you're more likely to get Martial of Artists or Lava Walker, for instance, than to get the Crimson Witch. So keep that in mind as well. Even though you're guaranteed a 4-star artifact at 35, you're better off waiting to at least 40. Because as soon as you hit AR 40, you pretty much, maybe 1 in 3 runs at level 40, you will be able to get a 5-star artifact, depending on RNG and what's not here. And at 45, I'm not too sure how true it is. I'm nowhere close to 45. However, you will be able to farm, I believe, a 5-star artifact at every level or every domain you enter. So yeah. So that's kind of mid-game. Whether you decide to farm artifacts at, say, 35 or not is really up to you. And yeah, moving on. So the end game stuff, there is a whole bunch of guides that you can use in terms of, okay, what do you need to upgrade? There is, I'm sure you guys know the website Genshin Impact. There's a whole bunch of default recommendations. But for me here, if you're looking to upgrade your primary DPSer, my advice is to always try and farm Gladiator Finale, and you're going to try and find the right artifacts for you. So when I say the right artifact subsets, I'm referring to what kind of stats are we getting here. Sometimes my RNG is absolutely horrendous, but with the top 3 that I'd recommend you to try and get is look for attack percentage, crit damage, and crit rate. Those are the 3 things that you want to try and get in your substats. For me here, I got attack 3.3%, I got crit rate 2.8%. It's a bit trashy and you can't really do much with it. And it's very hard in terms of trying to obtain it. However, please keep in mind that what the difference between a 3-star and a 4-star and a 5-star is the subset stats that you would achieve. So for example here, this 4-star artifacts has a 2 subset already. So if I upgrade this substats to a +4, it would mean that I'll get an additional substat. There's a maximum of 4 that you can get in terms of these substats. So, this could be a substat of HP or crit damage. You never know. So once you upgrade them into a maximum of 4 and you progress to, say, you have an item that gives you a straight 4-line substats. So what I'm saying here, so this item here has 4 substats already. I don't need to do any work on it. But as you level up to +4, you will have the option or chance to be randomly selected to get one of these upgrades here. You love to get a +7% attack, or you love to get the attributes of crit damage increase. It's all about RNG, so it's really hard and it's really difficult for you to I guess it's all about RNG at this rate. So yeah, so those are the 3 things that you want to look for towards the end of the game. But as well as you progress through the game as well, there's a whole bunch of things that you're trying to aim for. So there's specific requirements. So we look at for Xiangling, for instance. For me, I want to try and farm Crimson Witch of the Flames. The reason why I farm it is because the subset bonus is amazing on her. You get pyro damage bonus 15%, and you have 4 sets. You get burning overload damage increased by 40%. That's a lot of damage. Increase vaporize and melt damage for 15%. And the thing is, I use a lot of overload and burning effects, so this is the great end game. A lot of the end game domains can be like Noblesse of a Bleach, Crimson of the Witch, and a whole bunch of other ones. I can't remember on the top of my head, but we'll take a quick look here anyway. So, where is it? Anyway, so And yeah, so as you go through the domain here, you know, it depends on what your style or what kind of character that you're trying to build. Is he a support hero? Are you looking for more damage or geo here? There's all sorts of different requirements, and you get Thunder Theory as well if you want to increase your elemental mastery and what's not. So that's a short video of how what kind of substats you need to look for. I didn't really go down into details of what particular artifact you should be looking for. Besides the fact that if you're looking for to upgrade your DPS characters, my advice is go the Gladiator, Finale. Try and roll those RNGs, man. I tell you, it's really hard to get, you know, attack percentage, damage crit rate up. Those are very hard difficult things, but those 3 other subsets and it's perfect for end game stuff. But anyway, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe as well. We are so close to 16,000 subscribers. Let's try and get that 16,000, you know, in a couple of days here. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Let me know in the comment section down below, what is your personal artifacts that you prefer to use, which kind of characters you like, or which characters you're using as your DPS, and line up in the comment section down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.